Leader. This is News Channel 3, First at 10.
A juror is speaking out on why a deadly romantic rivalry case involving a former Riverside County Sheriff's deputy ended in manslaughter and not murder. Hello, I'm John White.
And I'm Karen Devine. We've been following this case from the start, and just yesterday, a judge sentenced that former deputy to 1 year in county jail, outraging the victim's family. Tonight, we're hearing exclusively from someone who was inside the jury room. News Channel 3 Shay Lawson live in studio after speaking with that juror who helped determine the outcome of this very high-stakes case. Shay.
That's right, you guys. The verdict is in, but for one juror who helped decide that former deputy's fate, the weight of that decision still lingers. For the first time, he's sharing his reaction to yesterday's sentence, the tough choices, and what led to the manslaughter verdict.
I left the courtroom crying because here, this affected both families,
A case gripping the valley. Former Riverside County Sheriff's Deputy Oscar Rodriguez convicted of killing his romantic rival, Luis Morin, back in 2014. Paul, who chose not to share his last name for safety purposes, says he was one of the jurors who sat through weeks of testimony.
When the verdict was read, we, the jury, find the defendant not guilty in first-degree murder. The family was upset, and Oscar put his head down. And then they said, we, jury, find him not guilty in second-degree murder. And Oscar crossed himself, and the family was crying. And then the judge read the verdict that we charged him with voluntary manslaughter.
The June verdict sparked controversy, with the victim's family and prosecutors arguing a murder conviction better reflected the crime's severity. Paul, however, says the testimony simply didn't support it.
From all the evidence that was presented by the prosecution and the defense, nobody said that he went there with the intent to kill him. He went with the intent to arrest him for 2 felonies.
Was there a big piece of evidence that led you to finally decide this intent was to go to arrest rather than to murder?
Yeah, Officer Rodriguez had made numerous arrests in the past. That the prosecution admitted that, and the defense admitted that. Many, and he was considered one of their top officers. And he had made a lot of felony arrests by himself in the past, and was never reprimanded for it.
Still, the juror noted serious lapses, including Rodriguez going alone to arrest Morin without calling for backup.
He didn't tell dispatch or anyone where he was. So when the call came out, shots fired, they didn't know where he was. They didn't know how to send officers to help or whatever. So that was really wrong.
Because Mr. Rodriguez was a part of law enforcement, did that weigh more heavily on your conversations?
No. I'm a big supporter of first responders, and so to have to sit there at judgment and possibly put this man to prison was very, very difficult. But I swore to the judge when I sat there to be picked that I would be objective and that wouldn't affect my decision.
A decision he says will stay with him forever.
Having to make a decision in that, I love people, and that was hard. That was hard for, I think, all of us in the jury.
And while the jury landed on voluntary manslaughter, the 1 year in county jail and 10 years of probation sentence handed down this week, when the maximum was 21 years, left Paul stunned.
Almost fell out of my chair. I was really surprised. I was just thinking maybe 15 years.
The case is over, but for Paul, the weight of that choice is not.
I can't imagine one of my kids being killed, and I can't imagine how the Mann family felt. And so, again, that's what was so hard, the pull between the two.
Well, News Channel 3 has followed this case extensively. To read more about it, head over to our website, KESQ.com. I'm reporting live in studio, Shay Lawson, News Channel 3.